All right, we're out of here. As long as it's safe. Fast around these corners. It's a pretty good downhill slope. Not sure the percentage, but it's steep. Alright, so while I'm driving west on Interstate 70 to Salt Lake City, Utah, I want to reflect on this trip to the Southwest, which originated from the Seattle, Washington area all the way to Yuma, Arizona. So if any of y'all have been to Yuma, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your experiences down there, and maybe you travel to the Imperial Dunes for some R&R. If you have, let me know. I've passed through it several times through the years, but I've never actually stopped to enjoy the area. But since I was just there recently, 2 weeks ago, I believe I'll go back down there next year. But one thing I would like to have is a bigger rig. Right now I am driving Christie's rig, a 2014 Toyota RAV4. But for some weird reason, it just has way better gas mileage than my rig. It has more room for Silas, Roso, and Sergeant Elias. So that makes a big deal when you're traveling for more than an hour or two. So yeah, these dogs have been stuck in this car. I believe we left Seattle on June 22nd. Today is July 11th. So yeah, we got a little bit of time, not a lot of time, but a little bit of time, enough time. So yeah, taking 2 puppies is no joke, especially when it's just me. And you're in cities and states that are averaging 100 degrees every day. And for someone like me who wants to go off into the backcountry and to areas where there's not many people, that means it's going to take a little bit longer to get there, typically. So these dogs sat here with the windows rolled up, the AC on high, for days. I ended up buying boots for their feet about a week before we took the road trip, just because of my past experience of living in Peoria, Arizona in the early 2000s. I know you do not walk anywhere outside barefooted unless you've got feet like a crocodile. So with that said, yeah, they were prepared. They actually liked the boots. They never bit them off. They never kicked them off. A couple times they fell off, and it so happened to be because I didn't put them on well. So now the sign says Junction 15, 1 mile. All right. 15 being Interstate 15. So back to the story. So, 1 man, 2 puppies. 7.5-month-old puppies, to be exact. And so with the heat blazing like it was, anywhere I drove, I would eventually run out of fuel. I would run out of ice. I would run out of drinks. I would run out of food, which necessitated me having to make stops. So whenever I took the stops, that means the car was turned off, the air conditioning's off, and now the dogs are in possibly up to 160, 190 degrees. So I could not have that. So it took me a day or two to figure out how I could rectify the situation, because obviously I couldn't take the dogs inside the Family Dollar. I couldn't take them inside the souvenir and ice cream parlors, you know what I mean? So, yeah. And I wouldn't want to bring Silas Roso in with people anyways. he's a light switch. He goes from 0 to 100 lightning fast, and he's super strong. Super strong. Yeah, I pity the fool, if you know what I mean. All right, so I drive to the quick time to go get a bag of ice. You walk in the store, you see some drinks, you get them. You see some snacks, you get them. You stand in line, there's 6 people ahead of you, okay? Your dogs are in the car, the windows are down, the thermometer says 100. And inside that car, it's hotter, even if the windows are down. So yeah, you gotta be lightning fast to get in and out, just so you can keep your dogs alive. And there were times in the trip where these dogs did not want to get out of this car. And they'd been outside many days, so they knew when the heat was too much for them. And there was a couple times I literally had to pick up Silas Roso and get him out of the car, even with the boots on. And then he would just try to find the fastest he could move, he would try to find some shade. And in the desert, it's not known for its shade, so you can imagine. So, yeah. And then he'd find his shade and he wouldn't want to leave. So, perhaps he was smarter than Sergeant Elias and myself, because I wanted to continue. So, not every day can you leave the Northwest, come to the Southwest, bring 2 young pups, and have a blast, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. So, 2 people is a good thing. That way, if you do go in the store, you can let somebody hang out with your dogs. They can either sit in the car with air conditioning running or sit outside and drink cold stuff. The dogs, like the day I left Seattle, I spilled the ice cooler in the back. Roso jumped the ice, and ever since then, it's like he's the Iceman. So, yeah, definitely the Iceman. So, that'll be his new name, Iceman. Remember that. Alright, slower traffic, keep right. And I'm trying to be right, you know what I mean? Alright, so you got 2 people with 2 dogs. It cuts down your interaction quite a bit. Alright, now I'm out here to do adventures and try to do some things that the dogs have no clue, because they've never done it before in their lives. They're too young, okay? I've been doing this crap since I was a teenager, so it makes a big difference. But these guys they hung with everything. I ended up taking them to Bistai Badlands. And this is a place with all the hoodoos and where the dinosaurs lived. And I actually sat there in a field of mushrooms, which weren't actually mushrooms. They were rocks. With time, things erosion. So yeah, pretty amazing. So took quite a few pictures. Had the Canon 80D out there with the Sigma 18-35 1.8 lens on the job. So yeah, so we got quite a bit of work done. But while I have these 2 dogs, a camera, a backpack, a tripod, whatnot, it's still difficult because I cannot leave these dogs off the leash. First, they're too young. Second, they don't know what the desert is about. Third, they're snakes. 4, they're spiders. 5, some of the places we're at, there's Gila monsters. Alright? So these are things you really gotta pay attention to. And as I'm talking about dogs, we're approaching Dog Valley. That's cool. I didn't even know they had a Dog Valley in Utah. So we learn something new every day, and you didn't know there was a Dog Valley in Utah either, did you? Didn't think so. Alright. So back to the, and a Dog Valley, exit 138, no services. So yeah, if you go there, you better go check out the dogs, grab one that you like, and then split, and get off to the next exit, get some food, some water. Water is life. Remember that. Alright, so now in front of me, I got a semi-truck and this white truck. and they've been playing games with each other. Like the semi hits his brake several times, and then the truck goes back further. But it's like there's 2 lanes. All the truck has to do is go to the left and take off. However, I was busy talking to you guys, so I don't know what the drama was. Will the big truck not let him pass? Interesting. Yeah, so I'll stay my distance back for a minute. Yeah, I don't want to get involved in something that I have nothing to do with. Or better yet, I'm just going to bypass them. And we'll never meet again. Alright, so we got 2 people, 2 dogs. We got it figured out. Don't let the dogs stick their noses in the holes. There's ants. There's all sorts of types of ants here. These ants will whoop yo. You know what I mean? So be very serious when you're out there and attentive to your pet. Keep them leashed. So there's horses that kind of roam around freely. There's cattle, and you have feral dogs. And the feral dogs are a trip because it didn't matter. I saw like 2 or 3 in a pack that were Chihuahuas. So I don't know if they're really feral or were they owned by somebody, but none of them had dog collars on. So, okay. Whatever, right? Yep. So next, whenever I would go to a place like a park or maybe the side of a gas station, my windows would be halfway down, my dogs are sitting in the car, and all of a sudden, boom, I've got 3 or 4 feral dogs surrounding my car, and then they're getting a little testy, and my dogs want to kill them. My dogs are pups, they get their butts whipped, okay? These feral dogs don't play, they live in the wilderness. So my dogs live in a plush, cozy little home and cruise around on adventures. So totally different lifestyle. Alright. So that was an Amazon truck that was dueling with the devil in the white truck. Or perhaps you could do a flip mode on it. Maybe the good guy's in the truck and the devil's in the Amazon. Now the Amazon dude's hitting his brakes again as he's right next to the right truck. And he's going faster, but he's showing the right truck that he can hit his brakes and intimidate him with his Amazon truck. People like that are weird. They shouldn't be driving semis. No, I'm not going to get his license plate. Report him. He'll get his. We all do. When it's appropriate. Alright, so I'm running around with the camera, trying to shoot video, trying to take photos, and I really haven't brought my camera gear with me anywhere in about 2.5 years. One thing, it's just too heavy, and I got more into the production of video shorts. So, with that said, I brought pretty much everything, including the kitchen sink and 2 bowls. So, too much gear. And my right hand and my left hand had a German Shepard that wanted to play. It wanted to run. They wanted to brawl with each other. But I just wanted to take photos and smell the flowers. So we have different priorities, and that's okay. So this was season number 1 with the boys, and it's only going to get better. So, yep, thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in to the Northwest Adventure, hanging out for the South by Southwest series. So it's going to take me several months to put a bunch of little projects together, but I think I've acquired enough content to keep us all busy for a while. So yeah, so I went through several states, and all of them had different ecosystems, environments, landscapes, xeriscapes, you name it. It was amazing. So I'm going to share that with y'all. So stay tuned and subscribe. If you haven't, hit the button real quick, alright? And give them likes. let's keep these things in circulation. The more comments and interaction I have with you folks, the more it inspires me to keep coming out here and doing what I love to do. So, and even if I didn't have anybody watching or commenting or liking or whatnot, I'd still be out here. But I have a little bit more fun making these videos now and knowing that some people actually get joy out of them. So, with that said, stay fresh and stay blessed. It's the Northwest Adventure, South by Southwest. Huh.